Good to go.
Good morning, everyone. This is loud.
Is your computer on?
Oh, there it goes. Sorry about that. My name is Ana Armenta. I am the Arizona Racing Commission Secretary. I would like to remind everyone that is in person today, if they can please silence their cell phones. And please keep chatter and conversation to a minimum, because the microphones will pick up a lot of the noise and record. Today is July 10th, 2025. This is the 737th Arizona Racing Commission meeting taking place in person and via Google Meet. I will call the roll. Madam Chair Contreras. Here. Vice Chair Olson. Present. Commissioner Chulik.
Present.
Commissioner Zucker.
Present.
Commissioner Kaddish.
Present.
Thank you. We have a forum. It is now 10:02 and the floor is yours.
Thank you, everyone. And just as a reminder, because we do have people online, there were some comments at the last meeting that some of you were hard, or even some of us were hard to hear. So let's make sure that we speak directly into the mics and speak up so that everybody can hear what is being reported for those that are online. I'm going to call together the order of the 737th Arizona Racing Commission meeting. Today is July 10th, 2025. I would like to ask for a moment of silence for Ruidoso, Texas, and New Mexico. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's drop down to item B1 and 2. I'm going to ask legal counsel, would I recuse on both of these items, ma'am, based on my prior recusal that was stated at the last meeting?
Madam Chairman, this is Jean Galvin, your independent advisor, and yes, you would recuse on both items.
Thank you very much.
Thank
May
you.
I pass those on then to Vice Chair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to agenda items B1, session consideration and possible action on monthly report from Turf Paradise and Arizona Department of Gaming Division of Racing relating to status of repairs and improvements to the track, facilities, and equipment. At this time, I'd like to invite up Mr. Duncan for a update.
Madam Chair, we would like to request that Turf Paradise takes the stand first.
Sure. Okay, with that, do the representatives from Turf Paradise want to come and give an update on the Turf Paradise improvements?
At the pleasure of the commission, Madam Chair, whatever you wish.
Please, and I think it'd be helpful for the open record just for you to summarize, but we did receive your updates in our packet and we've reviewed those, but if you could summarize those for the benefit of the public, and then we'll open it up to questions. Before you get started, I want to pause. I think I'm being asked to swear you in, and does that need to be done by myself or the secretary? The secretary?
The secretary.
Okay. Anna, please proceed. If you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name for the record.
Yes, I do. Vincent Francia, General Manager of Turf Paradise.
Thank you. Thank you. Please proceed.
Okay. At the pleasure of the commission, do you wish me to go through the entire list? Are there specific items that you have questions about? Otherwise, I'll start right at the beginning.
I think so. We received your
Okay.
your update.
Uh-huh.
I think at least for my benefit, it would be helpful to understand of the items that are not completed, for you to go through those and discuss those a bit. But I also want to pause now for my fellow commissioners to see if they want to hear anything else as you make the presentation.
Yeah, I also reviewed the packet, and it would be, I think, helpful for the general purposes of consideration of this agenda item if you just touch on things that have not yet been completed, when they will be completed, the reason why they have not been.
Okay.
And I'll just pause for a moment for our commissioners online. Anything else you would like Mr. Francia to address today? Okay, hearing none, please proceed.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Okay, let's start off with the first item is the speaker repair in the barns. The trenching is now finished, that is, and by finished, I mean we are now connected to the barns A through D, and we are to the HPP office where the amplifiers are. We'll be finished in a week. I would put that estimate with this heat that's slowing down some of our progress at 2 weeks. And that's so the public address system is up and running for the person when they come in. The medical director duties, a woman named Leah England, we have hired. She is a safety, I wouldn't call her steward, but a safety person that works at the Lone Star and also at the track in Oklahoma. And she was recommended by HISA. She's extremely efficient in what she is doing, is taking not only the duties of the medical director, but all the requirements of HISA, which are multiple, and putting them together in a format so we can submit it to HISA. She's very versed in the language of HISA, which has a lot to do with statutes.
So, so one question
Yes.
on that.
Sure.
Has she been, like, has her contract been signed? Is she fully retained, or are we just looking at,
No, she-
delineating her duties?
She's not only retained, she's paid in full. Leah England, if the commission wishes, I'll provide you with a phone contact so that you can speak with her. The signage at the entry point, there's already one sign up at the south gate. We are duplicating that sign. It's with Signorama right now. And it will be up long before the horsemen arrive at the north gate. It has all the rules that the department wanted on it, and it serves us well at the south gate. Receiving barn, it's clean. However, Astor was there because when I was with the ADOR staff on Tuesday, they want some more cleaning done of the stall floor. So we're going to take care of that. Outside of that, it's up and ready to go to receive horses. Inspection of the main building, and I'm going down the list because it's not completed. They are matters that take place as the meet moves towards the opening day. Then the county, the city, and the state officials come in, like the fire marshal, and get with our our building superintendent to go over all the things that need to be done. One thing that's already been done is in the grooms quarters in the stable area. We have 64 barns and 87 grooms quarters. Is a lot of damage was done. I'm not here to assign blame. I'm here to say the damage has been corrected, and 87 new smoke detectors and fire suppressant things connected with the groom quarters. That's done. That's completed.
And the inspections, are they required to be conducted closer to the start of the race meet? So those physically couldn't be completed sooner?
It's generally a matter of custom with the state, local, and city officials. They will come in anywhere from 6 to 4 weeks out and go over a checklist with the appropriate staff. The fire is very important, exit signs, all of that type of thing. But they don't come out months in advance.
And those agencies will be setting the dates. The agencies will be setting the dates rather than Paradise setting the dates. Like,
The date for the race meet?
no, for the inspection, I'm assuming they tell you what day they're coming out.
Generally, we advise them once the race dates are set,
Okay,
then we advise them Turf Paradise is going to open. Such and such horses will be on the ground, such and such. And then they phone call back in, okay, we'll be up such a date. History is that they generally come out from 4 to 6 weeks out from the opening of the race week. That's how they conducted themselves in the past.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, who has the hand raised? Oh, Commissioner Zuber, please go ahead. Sorry, you're quite small on the screen.
Yes, sorry. And I had intended on being there in person. However, my flight was delayed till 2 o'clock this afternoon. So this is the backup plan. In reference to fire marshal and these pending items, from my practical experience, we found that once all items have been corrected, you have the ability to call in the fire marshal prior, opposed to waiting for their traditional period or time to come in. Will these items be corrected possibly within the next 30 days so that you could, instead of waiting till the 11th hour of having them come just before the meet, having them come sooner? They will respond. I have had that experience many times myself.
Madam Chair, Commissioner, yes, we can call them in. The one area we can call them in is the one I just referenced. All the fire suppression and sprinklers have been reinstalled into the groom's quarters. So we could call them in for that inspection. They're the ones that have to sign off on that. In regards to matters in the main building, that's generally done again. We get everything ready and we call them in 4 to 6 weeks out. If it pleases the commission or commissioner, we can call them in earlier. We're just in the middle of a lot of projects right now. No project is being forgotten, but we're kind of on a schedule of what to do next.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. I'm just advising that sooner than later so that it's not bottlenecking just before the meet begins, and then you find out 11th hour that there's a few more issues that need to be complied. So I do have the experience of having the fire marshal and officials come out upon call and not wait until their traditional time for coming out. So just a matter of note that if it could be done sooner on your schedule, I would advise you to do so.
No problem, Commissioner. I'll advise the appropriate staff member.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. The main track and training track emergency lights, sirens, there's one light we need to replace on the training track. And there's a rail that needs to be adjusted. It's below the 40-inch mark. And then that will be done. The emergency, unless I'm mistaken, I've sent hard copy to the department or emergency procedures. Oh, okay. All right, thank you. The second horse ambulance is on the ground. What needs to be installed, it has a winch and a solar powered battery. But our track superintendent, our new track superintendent, Dylan Alvarez, wants to install them to south. He's familiar with doing this. Mr. Alvarez is at Del Mar, working for them right now in the summer. The second ambulance, horse ambulance, is on the track. The groom's vest guard is basically a large piece of plywood, and on that piece of plywood are hooks. On the hooks, the groom's colors. When you see them come in the paddock, they'll have the red, the blue, the yellow, whatever pertaining to that particular horse, so they can be identified, and then they hang them up. Done. That board will go up closer to the start of the meeting. If we put it up now, the sun will just deteriorate it. We'll have to put up another. Tractors,
One question.
Yes.
When will he return from Del Mar?
I'm sorry.
When will the superintendent return from Del Mar?
I think the Del Mar meet goes into September. Again, what's predicated is when the race meet is going to start. I'll treat that as a separate topic. But what I do have is an arrangement with Dennis Moore, who's the track superintendent of Santa Anita and Del Mar, and kind of the ranking guru of this particular profession. He knows I'm going to be requesting to bring 2 of my people back from Del Mar once the race days are set, and that would be Dylan, the track superintendent, another person who's worked on the track. So that I can't tell you exactly when they will be back, except the provisions have already said he will let them free to come back, and if they have to return to Del Mar, that's fine. But to get the track ready, to get it prepped and ready.
Okay, thank you.
Tractors, last meet, Mr. Sims entered into a lease agreement with Case Tractors for 4 tractors. They worked exceedingly well. The nice thing about them, when something did happen, they respond very quickly. They send out their mechanics. John Deere has requested to put in a bid, so Mr. Sims will be reviewing those bids. The plan is to go again with 4 tractors. That's what we need. And we do a lease arrangement, and when something happens with one of those machines, the mechanics have to come in that day. That's important to us. The rototiller right now is getting.
Sorry,
I'm sorry,
Jennifer,
yes, ma'am.
when do you expect to sign those lease agreements? I appreciate you can't predict it, but if you had an estimate.
I don't want to speak for Mr. Sims. We had talked about this. Both companies, I believe, have put in their proposals. So, I'm sure I'll be talking with Mr. Sims today, I have a feeling. And I will ask him that question and relay the answer to the direction sheet to the commission.
Thank you.
Yeah. What I want to emphasize is the agreement worked. They were brand new tractors. That's what we want. We have a lot of tractors, or we had a lot of tractors, and they certainly have given us a great deal of use over the years, but the equipment needs to be as Commissioner Zucker.
Yeah, Mr. Zucker, please go ahead.
Thank you. So let me clarify, there is not a lease that's signed. All we have at this time are just the proposals. Is that correct, sir?
Thank you, Jake. Commissioner, I don't know that, I know that Case prepared a proposal for Mr. Sims, and John Deere was preparing one. I don't know the status, if it's en route, if he's seen it or not. Again, I'll get an answer for the commission. But that's what we're doing. We're getting proposals from both companies for 4 tractors.
So what you're confirming is we have proposals, but no leases. Is that accurate, sir?
Nothing's been signed yet, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
What I am emphasizing is the agreement we had with Case from last year. We're following the same path, except we're allowing another tractor company to make a bid. We do a lot of work with John Deere.
Yeah. Fancy Commission, perhaps, Mr. Sims could speak to this, but wouldn't it be the ordinary course of practice to first make sure that you have a race meet, you sign a lease for tractors?
I think under the banner of common sense logic, yes. If I can speak directly?
Sure, please.
If the commission denies us a permit, what is the purpose of all of this?
That was kind of
Much less contracts with John Deere or Case.
Thank you.
I don't mean to be blunt.
No, I'm glad that you are.
Actually, I am too. Okay, I think we left off the rototiller, which was a purchase last year. It's getting a new hydraulic line and a bearing replacement. That'll be done by mid-August. A wonderful addition. The rototiller, because what it does, it really grinds the earth up into fine earth. The drawback is it takes 4.5 hours to do this, and everything comes to a stop on the racetrack until the rototiller is done. That's the drawback with it. The sand spreader is operational now, and what we do is sand. We get the sand from one of the from the Navajo Reservation in the northeast corner of the state, and we truck it. It's called number 100 mesh. It is fine grain sand, and that's what we use this sand spreader for. I'll get into a little bit more detail as to what we're doing. That's going to make what we feel the track even safer than what it was last year, and we put in a pretty good record last year to be among the best in the nation and the fewest of fatalities. The sweepers operation right now is not doing anything at the moment. The grading blade, this is the blade we own, and it has a GPS system on it, but we've had difficulties with it at the latter part of the year, so we're taking a look, and by we, I mean Mr. Sims and I, along with John Deere, is it worth saving, or do we have to go down another path? well, what are the paths you go down? Well, you purchase a blade, you can go to Ritchie Brothers and purchase one at auctions, or you can lease one, just like we lease tractors. But that's the one that's kept on site all the time. The swamp coolers, they're ready to go in the test barn. And that we coordinate with, Dr. Gale when, again, once the race days are set, I find out when she's coming in. But they're ready to go right now. The water trucks, we rented 4 of those, or 3 of those last year. And, what's being done is pony motors are being installed. I don't know that I can speak to the technology of pony motors, except everyone swears by them. And what do? They distribute the water not only evenly, but in the amount that, so that that's even true. Because if one water truck puts down X number of gallons per feeder racetrack, or another water truck is putting down different, now you have a difference in racetrack, and that creates a problem. The pony motors that we're having installed in the water trucks are to resolve that problem. I've talked to other track superintendents who have used them. They say it does that everything. The timing system is up and running. We do have one, and we have a problem, and that is when we move the rail out on the turf course. It involves the turf course, not the dirt track. And we keep moving it out, and that's to preserve the grass, so we can regrow the grass. We'll go 7, 14, 21, 28. The timing system at 21 is not working. In order to correct that would involve quite a bit. So what we do when we run at 21, we put up on the screen that the race is being hand timed. The jockeys will not ride at 28 feet. And I've seen them out there at 28. The turn, especially the first turn, becomes incredibly sharp for those horses. And they raced it. They raced at 28 feet, but I would prefer that they don't. There's too much yanking on the horses and all that. So that leaves us with 7 and 14 feet. But we don't have plans right now to repair the timing system for the 21 feet. The chase vehicle, that's what the we use when the races go off. The chase vehicle follows the horses. The starting gate procedure is both gates, the turf gate and the main track gate, is sent to True Center starting gate every year for renovation, maintenance, whatever it needs. True Center is right down the street from Turf Paradise. So we will have our gates back by August or early September. It takes them a while. They're a very busy company, and they're very thorough when they go through these gates, and so that everything is just right. The concussion protocols have been submitted to HISA by our chief paramedic, and we are in the process right now of dealing with quite a few requests for HISA, which is one reason why we hired this woman, Leah England, to help us with that. Again, they are a very statute-driven organization, and everything is clear and it falls into a slot, and that's how they work it, so we have to abide by that. So the protocols are being drawn up right now, and it's going to take some time. The lack of water stations, I went over this with Safety Steward Don Roush, and we'll have the 3 stations out. That's not a problem. We were down one last year. We obviously have one by the winter circle, and but 2 more were added out on the track. And as long as we're going to be under these heat conditions, generally when we start in November, it's not as severe as it is now, but it doesn't hurt to have them out daily as a matter of course, and no matter what the weather is, in case a horse would be in need of it. The grandstand, the only thing open in the grandstand right now is the paddock. room. And that's where all the rates of your simulcasting come in. As we get closer to, the opening of the meet, then the grandstand is ramped up, the second floor, everything. We're on a different schedule of cleaning, waxing, and everything that has to be done. The cleaning of the entire stable area, you see the date, which is today. As of today, we have taken 25 tons of debris out of our stable area. By the time we are finished, we will take another 25 tons out. And again, this is not to point fingers, but a lot of it is generated by, let me put it in a more positive light. Some of our trainers, you would hope they would come back and race your horses forever. They maintain, you could sleep in their barns. Other trainers are not as diligent, and that causes problems. And specifically debris and trash that builds up. But to give you an idea of what has been cleaned out of the backside, I don't know the last time when you have been out to turf, but if you go out there now, if you were to go out there today after the meeting, you would say, oh my God, how clean it is. And it is, but I'm just trying to give you an idea that this is not a, let's get the room out and sweep. This is much more thorough. We have gone into all the barns and taken out what we consider is debris, junk, and cleaned it up.
Do you expect, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Madam Chair.
Do you expect to complete today or in about a week? Can you give us an estimate on how much more time it might take to remove the remainder of the debris that you would anticipate needing to be removed?
One of the items that has the end of July date is that. Okay, and that includes, as the commission knows, the Ellsworth Road barns were taken down, and that debris is being hauled off. That too will be done by the end of the month. There's a number of projects that will all be done by the end of the month,
Okay,
and that is one. Unless, and sometimes it's a custom, and the department gives me a list and then they give me more to do, so, which is fine, which is fine. You guys are the regulators, we are the regulated. But when you do that, you've got to give us a little bit, now you've just added something to the schedule. And we'll take care of it, but the plan right now is end of the month.
okay. And Mr. Zucker, I see you have your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Thank you for allowing me to speak. This may relate to the backside cleanup or not, but there was a issue references biohazard material that was out in the back area and being blown around. Can you share with us the update status of that issue?
The biohazard, yes. That was brought under control over a month ago. And it was caused by we were working with a firm that we felt had a very good idea of doing something, instead of throwing manure out, doing something positive with it, making fertilizer for the nurseries and things like that. It was one of those best laid plans where too much manure was being accumulated and not going through the process quick enough. It's not a quick turnaround. It's not, well, okay, we took manure out of the barn, let it sit for a week. No, it sits for 30 to 60 days. Therein the problem started with our neighborhood.
Yes.
Yes, they do. But that's been alleviated, Commissioner. We even had, that was over a month ago, sometimes in the manure will ignite when it gets hot. And most of it has been taken off property. Other arrangements have been made.
So the citations that were issued by other governmental agencies, have they been resolved or are they still pending?
They are pending, we were, let's see, it's been moved to September. They will take a look at this again in September. We're way ahead of that curve. We're going to, everything will be in conformance with their statutes.
I understand. The vendor that you partnered with on this project, although intention is good, is this a vendor that our department is familiar with?
I can't speak for the department. I don't know.
Are they licensed?
Have I notified the department?
Yes, sir.
I don't believe I ever have.
Okay. That answers my questions. Thank you, sir.
Commissioner.
Please proceed. I think we were at the condition of the stable area restrooms.
Okay, the restrooms, we do two things with the restrooms. After the meeting is over, we clean them all and then we lock them. And then prior to the horsemen arriving, they arrive a month before the race meeting. We're back in cleaning them and doing everything that needs to be done. The department made a request to turn one of the restrooms at B7 solely for the women. That's done. You know, so that there's one just for women in that sector. On the chemical in the receiving barn, the disinfectant, I was given two disinfectants last year to look at. The one was so caustic and had so many warnings on it about be aware around animals, be aware of the BRAF. This isn't going to work. So I got with our cleaning service, Plan B. I said, you guys take care of schools and kindergartens and all that. What are you using? I need something strong enough to clean a stable. So this is the product that we have been using. It's an EcoE 23. It's safe as long as you're following the instructions to be used around horses, because with the receiving barn, because horses are in and out, they're constantly being cleaned and disinfected, cleaned and disinfected. I can research other disinfectants available, but I heard only good from the department and from HISA about the gentleman we have down there taking care of the barns. Again, I quickly add, it was pointed out to me with the recent tour of officials from the department that they want the sawdust, the bedding cleared out, which we would do.
And is that what's referenced by general stable conditions, or are there additional updates that need to be made there? So the next item is general stable conditions, and it says it's in progress. Is the sawdust what's referenced by that, or are there other updates that need to happen?
There are updates. The one is when the state was with us on Tuesday joint, some of the trainers left wood chips, which is bedding, instead of hay, they use wood chips. And they want those, the state wants that removed now, so we'll take care of that. There's about 30 piles, some are small, some are not. That is Horseman's property, but there was a concern that they could get infected, these piles of wood chips, so we'll just remove them. The other is not last Tuesday, but I think it was a Thursday before that with the state. We were in one of the barns. And, it's a barn it's roofed, the aisleway where the horses are paraded around hot walk when they're hand walking. It's sagging. It's been that way for years. We had a structural engineer come out years ago. So that's the way the barn's built. There's nothing unsafe about it. But the state wanted us to have a structural engineer come out. And so I said, okay, I'll get a structural engineer. Now the state wants all the barns to be examined by the structural engineer. So that's going to, so there's 64 barns. That's going to slow things down. We will comply, of course.
Do you have an estimate on when that would be complete?
I do. The structural engineer, Friday, the 18th,
July 18th?
July 18th. And I've advised the department of such,
Thank you.
but also before barns are not there. Okay, the emergency vehicle exit and entry point to main track. This is down by the paddock. We have looked at it several times. It's gonna require some very attentive work. Generally, the situation that slopes down from the dirt to the parking lot, and it's not safe for emergency vehicles. We haven't figured out how we're going to repair it, but it will be repaired before we start the meet, because that's where the emergency vehicles are stationed. And we want that access from the parking lot to if they have to get out on the track for some reason, to be smooth and, but it's not done yet. It will be before we get over. Barn roof, 8 barns have been identified that need roofing. They're all being tended to. They're not done yet. By the end of August, they will be. But they leak primarily is what the issue is. The golf cart, we have a golf cart that the vet can use if that's what the request is on turf races. I notice other tracks have it. When I see turf racing, I see this golf cart flying around with a vet. So we have that. What we had last year, and this was to follow HICE's rule 2166C, is they wanted a paramedic and an assistant, not only at the paddock area during training, but also at the training track when the training track is open. So we did that. We have double medical vehicles. Now each one has a paramedic and an assistant in case something happens. And again, that's to be in compliance with 2166. Drainage issues, there are 4 main sources of drainage.
Is that complete, or I know in our checklist it's saying that you're still coordinating with HISA, or has that been fully completed?
To describe it as still coordinating with HISA would be putting it mildly. Yes, we're still coordinating with HISA.
What does that mean?
We have an ongoing relationship with HISA. That's why we hired this consultant to make sure we are in compliance with everything. That's another deadline. HISA will be out on August the 1st. My experience with HISA is they're very firm, but they've been fair with me and with turf. They want us to succeed. I know that. And so when they ask for something, and it's never one little thing. Their statutes are very, very lengthy, complex. It involves a number of people. I mean, I could have a staff at the track that did nothing but make sure HISA was being complied with.
Right, okay.
And that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We left off with drainage issues. There are 4 major ones. 3 of them are underground and 1 is above ground. The above ground one will be finished today. That is the canal that goes along 19th Avenue. We had to get an excavator in there to get dirt and branches, that sort of stuff out of there. The other 3 sources of drainage, they're clean, but they're done with huge power wash that comes in. Where does all of this go? All of it goes to the center of the infield of the training track. That's where it all goes. barn shade and screen, that was done last meet, while the meet was in progress. Dr. Gale made the request. I sent a staff member to Home Depot to get the screening and put it up right away. If they need more, generally I get together with Dr. Gale and Vicky before we start racing, and whatever needs from the swamp coolers to air conditioning, whatever it is, respond quickly to the test barn.
And it looks like the paddock area maintenance, the furlong chute rail gap, the lighting on the backside, and the lighting on the main track have all been completed as well.
Oh, okay, Madam Chair, where are you on here with the paddock?
Yeah, I appreciate that you've updated us that the paddock area maintenance, the furlong chute rail gap, the
That's
lighting
been
on the
regret-
backside and the lighting on the main track are all completed.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's feel, I want to make a distinction here. Lighting on the backside, nothing's been brought to my attention
Okay,
about deficiency of lighting on the backside. What's been brought to my attention is lighting on the main track for training. We have the lights in, the new poles are up, the lights are up. And what we need to do is to coordinate a time with Vador. You gotta come out when it's dark, otherwise you're not gonna be able, are they working or not?
got it.
But they're up and ready to be tested,
Okay.
and that's for training. The L barns, I don't know if you've seen the L barn road since they've been taken down. Everything is now separated into tin or wood and concrete. That's the other, and that will be finished by the end of this month. Will be clear from the back.
Okay, and I didn't mean to skip around, I just wanted to
That's
save you
okay.
some time since we have that information that those were already completed. Just so we don't miss them, the observation and recovery room and the horseshoe inspector inconsistencies.
Let's talk about those. The recovery room is done. It was painted, the ceiling tiles were replaced. The cleaning crew was in there, they cleaned it out, the floors are waxed, and now the furniture will go back in. It's already served purpose during the last live meet. Because what happens when a rider goes down, they're gonna go through a concussion protocol with our paramedics. And before they have to wait jocks room, it's not the place. It's not the place for them to be. Because in there, they're athletes, and they're gonna encourage, they find it up. No. That's why we have the first, we isolate them. The paramedics, the medical people make that decision. So that's done.
So that's completed now.
That's completed. I would imagine the beds and the tables and the lights. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the horseshoe inspector inconsistencies.
Horseshoe inspector, yeah, I've had long discussions with HISA about this. I know one did it for us this year. I can't.
If you could just speak
Leave it
up,
alone.
I think it was muffled when you were too close, so.
I'm too close.
You're just following instructions, speaking directly to the mic too well.
I'm pretty good at following.
Just speak up a little.
A little louder, sure.
The horseshoe inspections, I think, is what
Thank
we
you.
left off on, yeah.
Thank you. Adrian McKinney was our horseshoe inspector this year. And, the problems were when I would go down to the paddock, and it's a place I spend, time in during the races. I'm down there more than once a day. He was there doing what he's supposed to do, examining the data forces for their shoes. And then I would hear from HISA, and from the safety steward, they were down in the paddock for a particular race, and the horseshoe inspector was not there. What HISA wants is for, if it's a dirt race, for the two front feet to be examined. And by examine, they mean that the feet are picked up. They suggested that the groom pick them up and not the horseshoe inspector. Becomes a little tricky. depending on the horse. But if it's a turf race, all 4 feet. Twice, when I was down in the paddock, when they knew it was a turf race, examining, and 2 times, he came close to being kicked in the head. And you can only imagine that's not going to be a good moment for anybody. I brought this to Heiss's attention. This is dangerous. You're asking me to put somebody in dangerous way here. I didn't get anywhere with Heiss with that. So if I don't think the department is satisfied because they complained to me more than once. So I'm going to have to look for someone else. I just want to make the commission aware it's not something where you stand back. It's not a beauty contest. You're lifting horses' feet, horses who they know why they're in those stalls. They're getting ready to race and they're a little tense. And boy, when they kick with those back legs, you wouldn't want to be anywhere near it. So the only way I know I can get with David again and say, look, you absolutely have to do this every race. You have to do it this way. Like I say, every time I came down, that's what he was doing. But again, to other inspectors, that was not the case.
So just so I'm clear, it sounds like,
We will have a horseshoe inspector.
okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that you would, like, have you posted a job opening, or is that just something you would do when you get the license? We just want to understand where.
The process,
was.
yeah, no, I won't post that. I'd be looking, I'm gonna use the word in-house. I don't mean among my staff. But when the horseman gets there, preferably a blacksmith, because they know what shoes are the right shoes. To do it and is willing to do it, but willing to do what HISA wants. And I believe what the state wants, which is lift the feet, look to see that they have the right shoe on, and 2 feet for the dirt horses, 4 feet for the turf horses.
Okay,
Mhm.
I think that brings us to the bridle path round.
Yeah, the bridle path is somewhat like the item we just discussed. There are 2 items that I haven't resolved yet with my staff. This is the second. And the other was the emergency vehicle exit and entry point. It'll be done, so I don't want the commissioner of the department feel that it's not going to be taken care of. We just don't know how we're going to go about it yet. Are we going to farm it out to like Elrod fence? Every bit of fencing you see on a Turf Paradise property was put in by Elrod, which is based in Cave Creek. I know the owner real well. They do excellent work. When we got hit by the equine virus several years ago, I said I need 20 portable stalls up right now. And they got them up in less than 24 hours. I mean, they're that good to work with. But as to whether we want to attempt this in-house and do it, or have a firm come in and do it, I'm not sure. But it'll be taken care of prior to the meeting.
And what would the timeline for that project be? Like, would you expect it to take a week, 2 weeks, or? Your best estimate, I won't hold you.
Yeah. 7 to 10 days, and that's pushing a bit, but whoever it is I'm using, I mean, the advantage of using an outside company is that's what you'll hire them to do. If it's my own people doing it, if there's some other project that flares up, that's a problem, I may have to pull them off that, which I did with one of our crews yesterday, to tend to something else. So we just haven't resolved how we're going to go about doing it. What I can tell you, it'll be done, and it'll be done before the horses get there. I don't know if you've seen the ground, it's too low. It's just years of wear and tear, it's too low. Okay, the main track rail. The 360 new aluminum sheets, they're installed. What's being done, and they're screwed down. What's being done now is where the sheets come together, there is a slat on the outside because you don't want sharp edges. That's being installed. Then primer paint will go on these new sheets and then paint. They will be done, this will be done the end of the month because that's when HISA is coming in to inspect the main rail and the turf rail. Okay, let's go down to the turf rail. Turf rail is a much different character than the main rail. It's a rail, it's a single pipe. And what we've been able to do is we're not using tape and not using springs, which we use them because that's what at the time the Jockey Guild was okay with. Now they're not. Okay, fine. And two screws, the easiest way to explain it, it's coming up from the underside, which is securing the two horizontal pipes that touch. And then there's a clasp that goes over and holds it in place. That is on HISA's inspection list too, when they come out on August 1st. Both projects are on track. They're on schedule. The pens that we use for an equine outbreak, heaven forbid, having gone through one, they're still intact. We're cleaning the weeds out. They are not located in the stable area. They are located several hundred yards away from the stable area. Because when we did have the virus, the equine virus, several years ago, there's no such thing as too much isolation. You need to get the infected animal out of the stable area as fast as possible. But hopefully we'll never use it again. The water, what we thought was solving a problem was with the water and algae, the sweeper, we use every day of the week, and every day it's going through a different area of the stable area. And what it does in terms of sweeping the water is it doesn't let it pool, it spreads it out and it dries. That's the object there so that it doesn't gather algae. That's just an ongoing process that we have. The office cleaning of the licensing stewards, investigators. Right now, we're doing that once a week. If ADOR wants it more, we will. During the meet, when we're up and running, the ADOR offices are clean daily. And this the group that does that is Plan B. They are the ones that have been very good at making sure things, the right disinfectants used. In emergency, they're always right there. But the plan right now is we're on the once a week clean, even though it's not really being used, we're still cleaning it. The jockeys' quarters,
I'm sorry, have the mice been resolved in the ADOR office that you mentioned?
I'm sorry, Commissioner.
The mice, there were reported mice in the ADOR office. Has that been resolved?
I would depend on ADOR to tell me that. The exterminator comes out. I have them come out twice a month.
Okay, we can check with them when they present.
Or just, I have an easy email.
Perfect. And then the jockey's quarters, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. It was brought to my attention by ADOR that the sauna, the men's sauna, is not quite right. And so what we're doing is the crew that I'm having doing that is the one tied up right now with getting the canal cleared for the drainage. When they're through with that, they will go into the jockeys. The ceiling of the jockeys room was a complaint about the ceiling wood, so we're tearing that out, putting in new wood. Outside the jockeys room, there are benches that we're taking out and putting new benches in. There's a section that's right as you enter the sauna, tile over time has just become, I mean, it's still fine, but it just doesn't look good. So they're tearing that out and putting new tile in. And there is one door, although I see two, so we're going to fix two. I guess through regular use and because it's so near the sun, heat has become warped and bent, so, we're replacing that. Okay, I might send you, again, a simple email. Sarah might send me either or I'll get these done. Second associate track veterinarian. We are in the search mode there because, I try as I might to get a hold of Dr. Corey Holden, who we brought on late in the meet. He had already finished his studies, was taking his final exam, and he spent several weeks with Dr. Butler so he could get a feel of what is expected of him. I can't make contact with him, neither can Dr. Butler, so we're back in search mode for a vet for that. We don't have that. Current track superintendent concerns. I would let their record this year speak for itself. They brought home the lowest fatality rate at the time. We were the lowest. Now Indiana racetrack is making that claim. If tracks are going to compete, let's compete on that, the lowest fatality rate. But it's the lowest one in the history of the racetrack. So, as I mentioned, I appointed Dylan Alvarez to be the new track superintendent. He was with us this year as a consultant, and there's not a slight against the previous one, because the previous one will be on the staff also. It's just that Mr. Alvarez has certain skill sets that are extremely valuable. One, he knows how to handle all the equipment, including the most important for a track super is that blade. If you get that blade off, you can prejudice the racetrack in ways that are unsafe for the horse. And his managerial skills are a little bit stronger than what I need. It's okay to be friendly with your track staff, just don't become friends with them, because you may have to fire them. And I need to have order and spend less time in maintenance. Okay, right now, the understaffing issues, we have 25 people are working or on staff. We have 30 other workers that are part of different companies that are doing the work for us. Again, Mr. Sims has put no limit on me whatsoever about bringing people in on as needed basis to get these projects done. The potholes, that's the next item. We won't address that until everything is cleared out of the way. The L road debris is cleared out, all the debris is out, so that we're not doing anything to the barn area. The manure bunkers are repaired. It will be done before we bid it out. I do have my eye on a particular company because they've done work for us before. Years ago, they did the entire stable area. Mr. Sims commissioned that. That was a $700,000 number. And some of what they did way back then is still sound in the stable area. So I like to go with what works, but the potholes will be done. And as soon as these other things are out of the way, I can bring them in.
And then, I'm sorry, there's not a specific scheduled date for that yet, or do you have a timeline for that one?
Well, it's certainly before the horses arrive.
Okay.
But prior to the horses arriving, once we are clear in the stable area, once the L road debris is out, and once we've done all the weeding and repairs, et cetera, that in the stable, specifically the manure bunkers, also the trenching that is being done for the bring up the public address system. When all that is done, because that goes through the stable area, then I'll bring in the pavers. Track depth and moisture, we comply with HISA rules on that. The track superintendent takes daily readings of the main course. the gentleman that takes care of our turf course, he does the same on the turf. All of that is uploaded to the HISA portal. So that's done race daily. I think I already touched upon the water trucks. Cloudy conditions. There is no racing surface quite like Turf Paradise anywhere in the country. And that's because of the preponderance of clay. And that is what causes us a lot of sleepless nights. And cloudy conditions are caused when you, the term is called ripping the track. You have 4 inches of cushion on which the horses run, that's so. And then you have a sub cushion. And then you have what's below that with what they call the base. And what happens is when you're getting, when you're putting on amounts of water with clay, and that may be taking care of the 4 inches, it may be dampening that. But a lot of the water is going beneath that, and with clay, it just hardens up. And when you dig it up, that causes clogs. And as good as we were with no breakdowns, or few breakdowns this year, we still went through this weekly drill after the weekly renovation. And that's where we had to get the big ripper out. There's actually a harrow that rips, but on the back of the blade are ripping teeth, huge ripping teeth. And that can go down anywhere from 8 to 10 inches down. And yes, it loosens the soil. And yes, it does all that, but it's unavoidable because of the clay content in the soil. The first day back after a renovation at my horseman, because I'm out on training, I go out every morning. It's the worst. It's just the worst because of these claws. Second day, not so many complaints. By third day, it's supposed to keep the track just like this. Well, we got a little tired of beating our heads against the wall with this because we were doing everything we could to counteract basically clay, the effect of clay. And it was brought to my attention of a device called a forge. And what a forge does is we have 4 harrows. They're all uniform. They're all the same harrows. And they have 480 teeth spread over 4 harrows. And when they are operating optimum, those teeth are sharp. With sand and the amount of racing we do, after a week taking the harrows over, now those teeth are dull. Why is that such a big deal? Well, now they're not going down to the depth that we want them to, so that everything is loosened, but it's done so uniformly. What the forge does is that it's a way for us to keep the teeth sharpened on a daily or every other day basis. So Mr. Sims authorized its purchase, and they'll be here the end of the week. And we are hoping that the addition of that piece of equipment will make things even better, because otherwise it's just this constant battle with clay, and clay wins out on the end. I mean, it does. We treat the track with plenty of number 100 mesh. But clay will not turn into sand. Sand, however, will turn into clay. And then we go through this process every week. And that first day back, after we renovate, do a ripping, I hate ripping, it's just not a good day. It's not a good training. It's not a good day when we race on that day. And hopefully with the addition of the forge, now that we can keep our teeth sharp and uniform, that it's going to take care of this problem.
Okay. Now, most of the rest of the list are your additional projects and some items we've already discussed, like your track superintendent, I think the surface. We've talked about the rail. Is there anything else on the requested projects you want to discuss, or is that it?
No, the additional projects are there for your benefit. They're not on the list. They're things that we are doing. that, we feel, and I hope the department feels are important.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to walk through this with us. It's been extremely informative and helpful, and for the hard work on this. Are there any other questions from my fellow commissioners before we turn to a presentation from the department? Is that Commissioner Coolidge?
No,
No.
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right, great, so with that, thank you so much. If we could have a department representative for questions. Madam Secretary, if you'd swear him in. You can please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please state your name for the record.
Brian Duncan, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. So we've reviewed this project status and timeline. I want to give you an opportunity to tell us the department's perspective to the extent it's inconsistent with what we presented today. But while you do so, I'd like you to keep in mind maybe some perspective or on the line of Commissioner Paddish's questioning of helping us understand what are urgent safety issues versus what might be normal wear and tear versus what might be a HISA deadline that might not coincide with this particular permit. And then also things that are more custom to be done during live racing or right before live racing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll try and do the best I can. And if you get questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you.
Let me just start off by saying good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and everybody who's on the call and attending here. With your permission, Madam Chair, I'd like to just read a quick statement and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. In a meeting held on June 17th, 2025 with Turf Paradise leadership, which included owner Jerry Sims, general manager Vince Francia, assistant general manager Dave Johnson. All findings for that day were reviewed and presented directly to the assistant GM, Mr. Johnson, during the inspection. During the meeting, Mr. Johnson effectively communicated the department's issues and concerns to Mr. Sims. We did commit to addressing the overall safe, clean, and neatness of the backside in the coming weeks. Since the June 17th, 2025 meeting, either Mr. Francia or Mr. Johnson have accompanied the department during the inspections, taking their own notes and identifying matters that still needed to be addressed. Across the multiple inspections at Turf Paradise, consistent and critical issues have been documented regarding the conditions of a safe, clean, and neat, and the usability of the backside facilities. While progress has been made, particularly in the main track safety rail, the new lights being added, weed removal across the barn areas along the turf and main track rails, tons of old furniture, appliances, and debris being cleared. Tack rooms and dorm rooms in all the barns area have been removed a few times already, but some challenges still do remain. Personnel presence has varied between 6 and 9 employees and up to 6 contract workers observed performing tasks such as the trenching for the conduit, electrical repairs, turf course and track maintenance, and weed control. A turf course inspection conducted by Stabilizer Solutions revealed a portulaca, I think is how you say it, weed infestation, which was promptly treated with herbicide by Turf Paradise track superintendents. Fire safety upgrades are underway. National Fire Control has replaced sprinkler heads and alarms in several areas. Interior improvements to the steward stands have begun, while the inside has been cleaned. Pigeon species at the entrance remains as an unresolved issue requiring further attention. Backside restrooms conditions are generally sound. However, all facilities will require a deep cleaning before reopening. As mentioned, the B7 Women's restroom in particular remains under repair. Other key issues persist, including the need for third-party inspections, stall cleanliness, specifically used shavings left in stalls and clean shavings as well that have been exposed to the elements and show signs of rodent activity. This poses a potential health concern for horses and humans, as rodents can carry diseases. Additional concerns still under review by the department include the need for pothole repairs, drainage improvements, and the muck bins still remain in disrepair. On July 8th, during a visit, Turf Paradise staff informed the department that trenching for the ARO wiring, as well as the electrical repairs and new speaker wiring, are expected to be completed by the end of the month. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. I can also run down the list that was provided to everybody with responses by Mr. Francia.
Okay. Thank you for that presentation and for the information. My first question for you is it sounds like a shorter list of outstanding items. Which of those items, I think that starts with inspections by third parties, moving to cleaning and shavings, potholes, drainage, muck bins, wiring, speakers, which of those items are things that are of normal wear and tear that you'd expect to have repairs like this on a regular basis versus things that the department views as concerning from a permit application perspective?
I still think all of the conditions need to be taken care of, especially the third party, the barn roofs, and some of the conditions. And I know that they had been previously inspected, but again, as we stated in the letter of concern in April, that this is what we needed to have done was for the safety of not only the horses, but anybody that's, working in those areas. Some of the others that I did not mention was basically the turf rail, the main rail, which is almost complete, as he stated. They just need to get those completed. Their panels, I think, in some of the chutes during our last inspection still need to be screwed down, but again, the straps still need to be put on, and some of the painting needs to be done. And then again, the turf rail, walking the inner turf rail, with the presence of Assistant GM Dave Johnson, we found approximately 60 or more that were loose that need to be reconstructed or fixed or repaired. Some of them I think fell on their own or were bumped, but they are very unstable. And I know he put in here that they're going to be repaired, but those need to be repaired for the safety of the horses in the job.
Okay. Commissioner Zucker, did you have your hand raised?
Yes, thank you, Chairwoman. It appears that a lot of this is deferred maintenance, but what I wish to inquire, Mr. Duncan, is how many of these 66 items on this list were present on the list of June 24th, 2024, a year ago, when the list was created? I see some repetitiveness of items that were either not corrected from a year ago or became a problem again. Can you identify that crossover?
I don't know the exact number from the June 24th letter of last year.
From memory?
Yeah, from memory, without having them in front of me. But again, I think there's been the rail issues, I think are ones that have been one of our main concerns, and some of the barn areas have been the main concerns, and just the overall cleanliness and the ridding of all the debris and stuff like that. I know the pigeon feces up in the steward stand was corrected most of last year, but there is the entryway. I don't know how they're going to clean it, but there is the lots of the pigeon feces up there as well that needs to be removed somehow.
By my count of the 66 items on the list that was presented by Turf Paradise, approximately 1/3 of them have been completed or close to completion. So another 2/3 remain on this of the list. Would you, in your evaluation, say that it's realistic to see that all of these items can and will be completed before the next meet?
The main one for me has been the barn roofs and the barns themselves, to have them inspected. Until we get that, that's one of the major ones for me.
So if I just follow up on that, it sounds like the rail has been an ongoing safety concern since last year. And the inspections of the barn roof seem to be something that's unusual outside of the normal maintenance of things like, pigeon feces that might need to be cleaned on a regular basis.
Yes,
Okay. So then would it be the department's position that once the turf rail has been completed and approved of by the department, and that the inspections by the third parties have been completed, those would be the major outstanding issues, with the understanding that ongoing maintenance would need to be kept up by the track, but that would be something we'd expect from any permittee, right?
yes, it's an ongoing issue that needs to be maintained regularly and not just when it's necessary.
Right. And so if you could help me understand, in the past, if a permittee who had their permit, had been identified as some of these ongoing issues like, cleaning and maintenance, or, the feces or things like that cause safety or, concerns, what would the department do at that point? Would it be raised to our attention? Are there actions that the department can do to remedy those on a regular basis once a permit is issued?
Yes, a lot of times it is raised to the commission as well that they need to be repaired. It's always raised to Turf Paradise. Again, pre-opening, we always try and give them a list of, hey, this is what we're looking for, needs to be repaired.
Right.
And then, some get done, some are pushed off.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And this is helpful for, I think, all of us to understand, with the goal of track safety and safety of everyone involved and the animals involved, what might be more day-to-day ongoing maintenance versus, the issues like the inspection and the turf rail that are,
Yeah, and the potholes and everything like that are ongoing every year that is, brought to the attention of everybody for the safety of the horses. Getting those filled every single year.
okay. Other questions?
Mr. Duncan, if I'm understanding the sequence of repairs, necessarily there's some repairs that need to be accomplished before Turf could undertake the next repair. For instance, you wouldn't want to fix the potholes until you've done the trenching and remove the debris, and requires heavy equipment.
Correct.
And so when those get completed, then in the next sequence of events, you would address the potholes, right?
Correct.
Third-party inspections, a little fuzzy on that one. Is that HISA and the structural engineer?
It's anybody, we just want somebody who is a professional certified building inspector, roof inspector, something like that, and not, somebody who is not qualified to be inspecting them. Just to say that, yes, they are structurally sound and safe.
And forgive me if I appear to be putting you on the spot, but that's kind of my job. You heard Mr. Francia testify, because he was on the road, that they have retained a structural engineer who was out originally to look at one, I don't know if it was the barn, or an area that had a sagging roof, and there was I don't know if it was a recommendation or a directive to have all of the barns reviewed. Would you disagree with Mr. Francia that he's taken this step to move forward by retaining a structural engineer, whom, if my memory is accurate, he said will be out this week?
I will disagree with some of the statement because, again, this was on the April 1 letter of concern. So now it's coming up to, we need to get it done in April. As soon as we closed, it could have been set up that,
Sure.
so yes, but he has, notified the department that somebody is going to be here on Friday, July 18th to inspect that.
A week from tomorrow.
Yes.
And you have no reason to doubt that that's gonna happen, do you?
No,
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. I hesitate to spend one more minute talking about pigeon dropping. That doesn't affect the safety of the animals.
it does our employees that have to walk by it every single day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't characterize your employees as animals, so when I refer to animals, I'm talking about the horses.
Yes, sir.
And where is the problem with the pigeons?
It's up in the steward stand.
Well, how many folks go out there?
We have at least 3 stewards. And then we do have the camera, the camera operators. And then we have photo finish. There are people that go up there on a daily basis.
Sure, and I don't mean to minimize it, but
Sure.
I'm just trying to get context here. So 2 or 3 people go up there when the meat is running and they have to walk through the pigeon coop.
Yep.
Okay.
A follow-up question for you. We had identified the inspection of the roofs as one of the major systemic concerns, and the other systemic concern was the turf track rail, right?
Yeah.
And then the other ongoing maintenance issues that need to be addressed on an ongoing basis that we would expect from any other permittee. On the turf track rail, it's my understanding that ISA has set a deadline of August 1st for that inspection. And that the track rail, that Turf Paradise, that they testified on their oath today that it would be complete by August 1st. Do you know what the HISA penalty or outcome would be if that track rail wasn't up to those regulators?
Yeah, with ICE, I do not know what their penalties will be, or, again, HISA, I don't believe has contacted the department and stated they were gonna be here on August 1st for the inspection. That's
something you learned from Turf
Yeah,
Paradise.
that's between Turf Paradise and HISA.
Okay. And I guess I know we're all navigating HISA together, but when HISA puts these deadlines out, or expectations to be met, is that something that, department traditionally views and adopts or makes their own determinations? I just want to help understand, the impact of that August 1st deadline and will we respect and trust them to get something done by a HISA deadline, or, face whatever penalties or remediation that HISA provides, or is that something in the department's view that needs to be done before the permit is issued?
That's a strong question there, but yeah, I believe that they should have it done prior to the August 1st deadline to satisfy HISA. But I also think it should be satisfactory to the department as well.
Before the permit is issued?
Before the August 1st deadline.
Well, I guess
Madam,
my question's just a little bit different, because what we've been asked to do is consider the permit, and
Yes.
I fully appreciate the public safety concerns and wanting this done, and absolutely done before live racing begins. But I'm just trying to understand if it needs to be done before the permit is issued, or if that's something that's like an ongoing maintenance or not. And, you guys are the experts, so it's helpful for us to understand where your concerns come from.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't think it's an ongoing maintenance. I think it's a major maintenance that needs to be completed, and there is quite a bit to be done. So I think it needs to be done.
Madam Chair, this is Jerry Sims. Can I make a comment, please?
Mr. Sims, actually, if you could hold on, we're in the middle of these questionings, but we can give you an opportunity.
I just thought I could be helpful on some of the answers that you were looking for.
And Mr. Sims, I'm gonna respectfully ask you to just hold tight, and then we'll put you under oath and let you Sure,
Sure, that'd be fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, I think my questions have been answered.
I've got a follow-up to that. Mr. Duncan, in your experience, have you ever encountered a situation where HISA has deemed a racing condition to be safe, but the department takes a contrary position?
Since we've only been working with them for a year and a half. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm not aware of any.
Yeah.
So if HISA comes on August 1, gives the green light, do you have any reason to think that the department would somehow, some way disagree with that?
probably not.
Thank you.
Commissioners Coolidge, Zucker, any other questions for the department?
No
Not from me,
further
ma'am.
questions.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Duncan. We really appreciate your efforts here.
Sure.
Okay, Mr. Sims, can you hear us?
Yes, perfectly. Uh-huh.
Okay, just one moment and the secretary is going to place you under oath.
Okay.
Mr. Sims, if you can please raise your right hand.
Yes, I have it up.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name for the record.
I do. Jerry Sims.
Thank you.
A few things just for clarification. Mr. Mayor, I think you did an excellent job of explaining everything. I spoke this morning to the gentleman that's hauling out trash. His company is hauling it away. He's not the one collecting it, but he's the one that's, he said that they'd taken out 27 tons and that he's got his people working through the weekend and expects at least another 25 tons to be taken off the property. Regarding the grass rail, I spoke to Vinny, who's in charge of the grass rail repairs, and he is working at night on welding these 60 panels that were wobbly and repairing those. So I have every reason to think he believes that he'd have that done before August 1. The shavings that are in the barn that people have left. 2 days ago, I asked Dave Johnson to get a front end loader on that and to take those all away. And he said he would get that done. And we have inspections on the roofs. You know, the roofs have been there 69 years. Doesn't mean they can't have problems. So we have people coming out, engineers to inspect them all. And you know, one point I'd like to make is that we are way ahead of schedule. As you all recall, the schedule was to be done by September 1, and that was done that way, so it would leave us a cushion of time if there was something else that needed to be done before the Horseman came in October. And when you think about it, we finished our meet. Now, I know about the April letter, but there were things during the season you can't do. You can't put light poles in and trenching and, you know, knock down the L row, do all those things during the season. When there's horses back there, you can't have the heavy equipment. But we finished our meet and the first Saturday in May, and it took about 2 weeks for horses to leave the backside. And so when you take a look, it's been about 6 weeks that all of this has been accomplished. And we're on a breakneck speed. There are, as I said before, 25 of our people and 30 vendors, people that we bring in. And they're working 6 to 7 days a week. And I believe strongly that I'm committed, my team is committed to have all this done in a timely fashion. You know, everything is important that we're doing, but we really prioritize safety because I think that's the mandate from the commission. and it makes perfect sense. At the end, we'll get the rest of the trash or weeds. You know, we did cut weeds. They grew back again. You know, it didn't really do much. But at the end, all that, we're used to doing that before the horsemen come in. And then each trainer takes care of their own barn area. That's their job. Some do a great job and plant flowers and make them look very nice. Some not so nice. But, you know, some of these tasks, like digging up and trenching the whole backside, it's a gargantuan job. And they're about done with it. And we needed to put in new wiring in conduit, because over the years, rats have eaten through the wires and so on. And it's grunt work, but that all had to be done. And speaker wires for the horsemen to know when a race is coming, or this is, let them give notice to whatever it is. They need to have speakers back there that are working. And the 87 dorm rooms, I mean, it's tedious work, but to be legal for them to have 87 rooms live in those, they have to have all the fire features, which are hard wires for the hardwire smoke alarms, and sprinklers that were torn down, and door handles, and light switches that ripped out. I have no idea why that's done. But it's tedious work. We put up light poles because that was a big safety issue, to make sure there's enough light in the morning, as you all recall. And so we not only put 2 new LED fixtures up there, but we put 2 new 30-foot poles in that weren't even asked of us. And they're all working. And you come out in the dark time so you can see the benefit around the entire track. But understand that the safety items are the first. And I'm okay if you approve the permit today and you put some conditions on it. I'm fine, because we're going to get it done. But if we don't, well, that'll be something that we're committed, and otherwise we don't have a permit. Yeah, we have to, but at least I can get those stall applications out in August, because we make a contract with the horsemen, and they need to know, because they've got families and they have children to get into school. They have to find places to live. And if we give a message that we're all these years, I've been there 25 years, every August, out go the stall apps. All of a sudden, no stall apps. What's going on at Turf? They make other plans. So I would encourage you to approve it with conditions, and know that I'm committed. My staff is committed, and we'll get it all done. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sims. Do you know, or maybe Mr. Francia knows, what time the HISA inspection is on August 1st?
I do not know. Mr. Mayor might know better. When HISA is coming out, Jimmy? Is that what you mean, the inspection on August 1 from HISA?
Yeah, that's right.
Mr. Mayor might know. I don't know.
Mr. Francia's coming on up.
Madam Chair, I haven't been given the time, but I've been given the date, August the 1st, that they will be here.
And do they typically render their decisions on site, or does it take them some time to give you a decision?
Does HISA do what?
So for example, HISA is coming out to inspect the turf rail. Will they give you an approval on site, or will it take them some time to turn around and decide whether or not it's sufficient?
Generally, it's immediate.
Okay.
Dealing with matters with them, or they'll say, fix this, and they depend on me to do it.
Okay,
Generally not a wait period.
okay. And historically, do they come out in the mornings, afternoons?
Both times, they generally come in for a number of days.
Okay,
It's not just fly in, fly out.
got it.
They allow themselves enough time to, that's been their custom.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
All right. Any questions for Mr. Sims from the other commissioners? Okay. Did the department intend to have anyone else present on B1? No.
Yes, Mr. Val Marciano, representing the Division of Racing, Andrew Hawks, would be prepared to, speak with regard to the permit when the commission, would like to hear.
Is that for B2 or?
That is for B2, yes.
Okay. But no one else on B1 for the updates?
No, Vice Chair.
Okay. All right. And because this was a discussion item, we don't necessarily need to take action on B1, right?
Yes, Vice Chair, correct.
All right. Unless there's any other discussion or motions from my fellow commissioners, I'll move to agenda item B2. Okay.
Vice Chair, this is Commissioner Coolidge. If we, and maybe this is for a question for Val as well, if we wanted to make this an actionable item, do we have to make a motion on it right now?
So, and by saying an actionable item, meaning wanting to consider the permit, I think that would fall under B2, which was.
I just didn't know if we needed like a formal motion to actually take the B2 step. That's my question.
Oh, good question.
I recommend you do.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Mr. Coolidge.
Madam Vice Chair, I'd like to move that we, actually, Val, would we just make a motion to approve to move to B2?
I'm sorry, was that a motion?
So it's a question, should we make a motion to move to B2?
Correct.
Okay,
So moved.
Second.
thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Coolidge and a second by Commissioner Padish. I will call the roll. Vice Chair Olson? Yes. Commissioner Coolidge?
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker?
Yes.
Commissioner Padish?
Yes.
And Madam Chair has recused herself with a total of 4. Thank you. That motion passes. All right, moving into agenda item B2.
Vice Chair?
Yes.
May I, Val Marciano for the Division of Racing representing it. The Horsemen's Group would like to be heard on B2, so just wanted to alert the commission.
Okay, would you like to start with the other witness or?
Certainly we'll start with the other witness.
Okay, feel free to call him up.
Thank you. Mr. Andrew Hawks.
And as a reminder, we continued the hearing from the last few meetings, so all of the testimony that had been previously submitted remains on the record and part of this hearing, but this is just additional testimony, right?
Yes, Vice Chair, in addition to the documents previously submitted that was noted, they were noted on the record, and I have additional material I will note at the end of this, this number 2.
Okay, very good.
And this witness will need to be put under oath.
Okay.
If you can please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name for the record.
Andrew Hawks, yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Marciano, go ahead.
Mr. Andrew Hawks, you've been sworn. Do you have an update regarding the grant money involving Turf Paradise?
Yes, I do. I have a very short update. On June 2nd, 2025, the Governor's Office of Strategic Planning and Budget, also known as OSPB, notified the department that Turf Paradise's ARPA grant closeout was complete, and that with the supporting documentation submitted by Turf Paradise, they were able to reconcile the full amount of the award.
Mr. Hawks, I'm sorry, am I able to ask a question?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Does that satisfy the department's concerns related to those grants?
Vice Chair Olson, yes, it does.
Thank you.
I have no other questions.
Okay.
Vice Chair.
Any other questions from my fellow commissioners? Okay, thank you so much. Ms. Marciano?
We have no other testimony to offer with regard to the permit. I do want to note that this item 2 is for the commission to consider having the hearing. So if the commission decides to do so, there would need to be a vote on number 2. And
Move to
then
number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the First Group, I believe you would like to be heard. It's please. All right, we're gonna swear you in real quick. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name for the record.
So help me God, Lloyd Yother.
Thank you. Mr. Yother.
Yeah.
Madam Co-Chair, Madam,
Excuse me.
Is that a yes?
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
But in God we trust.
Yes, yes, sir.
Madam Co-Chair Olson and Chair Lady Contreras and fellow commissioners, well, not my fellow commissioners, but commissioners. Lloyd Yother with the Arizona HBPA representing the horsemen. There's been a lot of discussion on the issues that I've been directly involved in. I spent 4 hours Tuesday with the department and management going through Turf Paradise, surveying what's been done, what hasn't been done, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to take a stand at this point. What my mission is today is to give you a horseman's perspective of what we need as horsemen going forward, because it is the middle of July. We're talking about a completion date of September the 1st. It's about the permit, I guess, temporary or conditional or whatever you want to call it. The horsemen, as I explained, and most of you probably know, but I want to tell you where we're at. This is mid-July. We need to know something first part of August, whether we can put out something to our horsemen that we will be able to come back to Turf Paradise or not. I'm sure a lot of them will, because they have homes here and they, this is what they've been doing for a number of years. And I understand the conditions of the track and what the department and HISA and safety and all that's all about. But our horsemen also, they have a time frame to commit, or they won't be coming back. They have to find a place to go. A lot of the tracks that our horsemen go to from Turf Paradise in May are tracks that are over by mid-September. So they need to be knowing something first start of August, so they make plans to go to the track that will be running. I'm not saying that not, hopefully that we will be running again, meaning Turf Paradise, and we can move forward with this. But I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the commission and just give you a word of caution and urgency that we need to know something. I'm not advocating for or against. I'm not taking a position, which is a tough thing for me not to do, is to take a position, but we just I needed you to know that and make sure.
Thank you. A follow-up question for you. We've heard today about the track rail, and that HISA will be inspecting it on August 1st. Would a vote shortly after August 1st meet with that timeline, or would that still be concerning to the horsemen?
It would be last minute, but it would be okay.
Okay.
The problem I have with HISA and the department is who's in charge. Meaning, I know nothing about HISA coming in August 1st. The department says they don't know anything about HISA coming in August 1st. And maybe they don't need to know. Maybe it's just between them and the department, but they should be communicating that to us when and if they're coming. Last year, if you recall, they came in 2 weeks after the meeting started. Well, what good is that? And the state and the horsemen are suffering from HISA paying them to do their job. And I don't feel that they don't give us the time and respect that they should be given.
Any other questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Lloyd, I put Mr. Duncan on the spot. I'm gonna put you on the spot too.
Okay.
I know you're here as a representative of the horsemen, but I know that you're a horseman too.
Right.
You have horses, and historically, you've had a number of horses here at Turf.
Right.
So knowing everything you know now about the condition of Turf Paradise, if a decision is made to grant them a permit, did you bring your horses here?
I would,
Thanks.
with a caveat to that, if I
Yeah,
may.
sure.
There's a lot of progress been made in Turf Paradise with this past summer. There's still a lot of things to be done. There's a lot of loose ends. My concerns are, is there enough time? And as you spoke of earlier, my life is in construction, so you have to have a schedule, regimented. You got to have a foundation before you can build the building. You got to have the trenching and so forth done before you can do the paving. You got to have all this work done, and there's a sequence to do that, but it doesn't seem like that's understood by, I don't want to say management, I'm just saying the people that are doing the work, they never finish anything. They get it almost to completion and then they're pulled off or go on to another project without getting completed. And I know timelines are not timelines. We went through all of the items that are going to be done mid-August. By September. It's too late as far as knowing whether the horsemen are going to be able to come back or not. So I guess my point is we need to know something relatively quick by the 1st of August, around the first part of it. And I guess maybe Madam Olson, you stated maybe early August, but I think the 14th and the 17th is the next August commission meeting. That would be definitely.
That would be great. Mr. Yoder, if you have an opinion, you might not, but do you agree with the department's assessment that the inspections of the roofs and the turf rail are the two most important safety issues to get addressed?
Absolutely. My opinion, there's quite a few I'm not very good at speaking. You've got safety issues first and foremost. You've got backside conditions. You've got public facilities like the grandstand and so forth. You've got maintenance issues. You've got landscaping issues, or if you will, backside issues, and those all need. They are all important, but they need to be prioritized and done and completed. And that I didn't want to get into this again, but they're talking about all the stuff that they had to haul off because the place hadn't been cleaned up and God knows how long. Yeah, the horsemen leave stuff in the tack rooms and but that's the way they received it. So if it was managed properly and they were inspected when they come in and inspected when they leave, they wouldn't have these problems. My opinion.
Thank you. Any other questions from my fellow commissioners? No, thank you so much for your.
Thank you for your time.
Vice Chair,
Yes,
Val Marciano for the division.
yes.
We have Mr. Estrada available to speak to HISA timing, if the commission could allow him to testify.
Sure, go ahead, Mr. Estrada. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please state your name for the record.
Juan Estrada, and I do. So just a bit of clarification, in regards to HISA and communication with the department. There is constant communication with the department. They normally notify us of the dates they're gonna show up, and when it pertains to the list, they're normally aware of what we're doing. So we're here to achieve the same goal, which is neat, clean, and safe. So I just want to make sure that the commission understood that we are working together, and there's really no discrepancies. If there is, we would sit down and discuss and put those matters, in front of everyone.
And if the turf rail is, complete by August first for HICE inspection, would the department be in a position to inspect it that day or earlier?
The department's available to inspect that road at any time the track is ready for us to do that inspection.
Okay, thank you. Was that a commissioner that raised their hand?
Yes.
Yeah, Commissioner Zucker, is that you?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Estrada, has HISA communicated with you regarding this August 1st date that's been referenced by Turf Paradise?
They elaborated somewhere around August 1st. It can be August 1st. It can be a little earlier. I know that they communicated with me that if I needed them here earlier, they would. In the sake of allowing Turf Paradise as much time as possible, I believe we're looking somewhere around August 1st and on. So, however, if the commission instructs me to communicate with HISA, then I would definitely recommend to HISA that they show up earlier.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Any other questions for Mr. Estrada?
I have one, and Juan, perhaps you know the answer to this, perhaps you don't. In the hopefully unlikely that HISA comes and finds the turf rail to be unsafe condition, does HISA issue I don't know what to call it, an edict, an order, an injunction, something that prohibits racing?
So HISA normally, they can't stop racing, right? That's the department's job to either allow the racing or not. HISA normally, my understanding is if they see any discrepancies, they may allow them time to correct that issue. If it's not corrected within that issue, HISA is able to impose fines. Also recommend to the state that, you know, if it's unsafe, they recommend hardly to the state that they would recommend that we take the stance of not allowing races on grounds.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Ms. Marciano?
No, Vice Chair.
Okay, anything else from the fellow commissioners? So at this point, we either need to make a motion to approve Mr. Sims' request to move the formal hearing to today's date, or we need to take a motion to do something else, or I suppose nothing at all might be an option. Is there discussion amongst the commissioners?
I don't know if I need to have a discussion as far as making the motion, but I'm happy to make a motion to, unless there's discussion needed.
So Commissioner Coolidge, it sounds like you said you're ready for a motion. Maybe why don't you throw out a motion and we can let discussion ensue from there. And this is just to move the hearing to today. It's not to approve the permit. That's a different agenda item. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Vice Chair, I would move that we move the hearing so noted on the agenda to today's date.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Coolidge and a second by Commissioner Parrish. I will call the roll. Vice Chair Olson.
I'm going to vote no, and my explanation for this is the department has expressed that the rail is one of their top safety concerns. It sounds like August 1st is that inspection, or at least when Turf Paradise is expecting that to be done. So my preference would be to move the hearing to either the afternoon of August 1st or the first few days of August so that we can consider the completion of it with a special meeting. So with that, my vote is no, but wanting to respect everybody's hard work and timelines that have been expressed here today.
Thank you. I just want to make a note that Madam French Contreras has recused herself. So Commissioner Coolidge,
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker,
No, for the same reasons and statement that was made by Vice Chair.
Commissioner Parrish,
Yes.
So the motion fails. I'd like to make a motion to deny the request from Mr. Sims, but to set a special meeting after the HISA inspection, whether it occurs on August 1st or earlier, to consider Turf Paradise's application for renewal of the 3-year permit.
I wish to second that.
Thank you. I will call the roll. Vice Chair Olson,
Yes.
Commissioner Coolidge,
No.
Commissioner Zucker,
Yes.
Commissioner Padish.
Yes.
And again, to make a note, Madam French Contreras has recused herself. And that,
Motion carries, yeah. Okay, thank you, everyone, for your testimony and hard work, thus far. It doesn't go unnoticed. I think I speak for the whole commission in saying that, we're all here to, hopefully work together towards the same goal and towards track safety. So thank you all for your testimony today. Since the motion failed, we have to skip agenda item B3 and, I'll turn it back to the chair. Oh, I'm sorry, does that mean we skip B4 as well?
Vice Chair, it would be best to delay or request that item before the tabled or continued to a date that's consistent with the permit renewal because they're contingent or
Okay.
conditioned upon.
Does that require a motion?
And if we could do the motion in 2 parts, I would need to declare a conflict on B4. For context, I'm a licensed attorney, I work at the law firm of Snellwater. In this capacity, I'm subject to ethical rules, obligations, and it's possible that one or more firm clients may be impacted by that matter, so I want to recuse myself from 4B.
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your diligence and your hard work in those prior agenda items. We'll go then to 4B and ask if there is a motion to continue this matter until such time as we also hear the permit hearing on Turf Paradise.
So moved.
Second? Commissioner Zucker?
Oh, just need to call the vote.
No, we need a second.
We need a second. We need a second.
I will second that motion, yes.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
thank you, with a motion by Commissioner Padish and a second by Commissioner Zucker. I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Olson has recused herself. Commissioner Coolidge,
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker,
Yes.
Commissioner Padish.
Yes.
Thank you. With the 2 of 4, that motion passes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Anna. All right, let's drop down.
Before A and C, sorry.
I'm sorry. Oh, my apologies. That's right. We need to move down to just for
A and C.
A and
the same
C,
motion.
in which we do not have a recusal from the
That's
vice
right.
chair, correct?
Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate the clarification. All right, so let's ask for a second motion then for items 4A and C as to also moving this agenda item or deferring this agenda item to August at the time that we also hear on the permit for Turf Paradise.
So moved.
Second,
Thank you. I have a motion by Commissioner Padish and a second by Vice Chair Olson. I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Olson,
yes.
Commissioner Coolidge,
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker,
Yes.
Commissioner Padish.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion passes.
Thank you. All right, folks, let's drop down to agenda item B5, which is the simulcast agreements pursuant to ARS 5-112U. We have Turf Paradise looking at Gulfstream Park, Royal Palm Meet, the Remington Park, the Wyoming Downs. Do I have a motion or any conversation, additional information from staff? No.
I'll move to approve the simulcast agreements pursuant to ARS 5-112U for Turf Paradise items 1 through 3.
Vice Chair, is that contingent upon the?
And it is contingent upon the extension of the permit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. A motion by Vice Chair Olson and a second by Commissioner Padish. I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Olson,
Yes.
Commissioner Coolidge,
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker,
Yes.
Commissioner Paddock.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion passes with conditional.
Yeah, this is Jerry Sims. Could I get a clarification on, because two of those three tracks start July 11th. So are you saying we can't take those signals until August, when we deal with the, permit?
Vice Chair, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
No, it's conditional on the permit being non-approved. So at this point in time, the simulcast can proceed and unless at a point in time later, the permit is denied, permit application.
Thank
Did
you.
that, yes, sir.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Sims?
It did, thank you.
Okay, wonderful, thank you. All right, with that, we'll drop down to 6A, which again is Turf Paradise, Gulfstream Park, Royal Palm Meet, the Remington Park, and the Wyoming Downs. We do have documentation pending, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a quick update. Item B6A1 is now complete. We did get the HPPA approvals. Items 2 and 3 are still incomplete. So I would make sure that all documentation is turned in for items 2 and 3 before we allow them to turn to 6 and 1.
Thank you, sir.
Can you send us a copy of the HPPA?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm ready to make motion.
Go ahead.
I'd like to move to approve agenda item 6A1, simulcast horse racing import signals pursuant to IHA section 3004A3 Turf Paradise for Gulfstream Park Royal Palm Meet contingent on continued permitting.
Second?
Thank you. Thank you. I have a motion by Vice Chair Olson and a second by Commissioner Paddock. I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Olson.
Yes.
Commissioner Coolidge.
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker.
Yes.
Commissioner Paddock.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion passes with conditional approval.
I'd like to make a second motion to conditionally approve agenda item 6A, items 2 and 3 for simulcast horse racing import signals pursuant to IHA section 3004A3 Turf Paradise for Remington Park and Wyoming Downs, contingent on continued permitting and department's receipt of the documents, and to empower the department to act without further action from the commission once received.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Vice Chair Olson and a second by Commissioner Paddock. I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Vice Chair Olson.
Yes.
Commissioner Coolidge.
Yes.
Commissioner Zucker.
Yes.
Commissioner Paddock.
Yeah.
Thank you. That motion passes with conditional approval.
Thank you, Anna. Let's drop down to C. Number 1 is our track safety report. Mr. Duncan, do we have additional information?
Madam Chair, we do not have any additional information.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Any other comments on that item before we drop down to B, the budget report? Good morning. Is it still morning? No. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, I'll be providing the budget report, and the legislative update, but I'll pause for questions in
Vice
between.
Chair, would you have the speaker state your name?
Yes, sorry. Andrew Hawks with the Department of Gaming. Okay, this first slide of the budget report. It presents the different revenues by category and expenses by category for the full fiscal year 2025. The total revenues were approximately 2 million, and total expenses were approximately 1.9 million out of the regular racing appropriation. Additionally, we had other expenses for the HISA assessment and leaders awards outside of that appropriation. Next slide. This chart represents our spending throughout the year, and it did fall below the appropriation. Next slide. And this chart represents our end of month cash balance throughout the fiscal year 2025. Do I have any questions about the budget?
And that closes out the fiscal year.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Any other questions or comments from my fellow commissioners? No. You want to go ahead then and drop down to our legislative report?
Yes, thank you. Jessica Rosa, our Chief Legislative Liaison, is out of the office today, so I'll be providing the update on her behalf. The state legislature adjourned sine die on June 27th, 2025, after 166 days, 465 bills passed, 265 signed into law. No racing specific legislation was passed this session. However, several budget items were related to the regulation of horse racing as follows. $175,000 was appropriated to the Department for Contract Veterinarian Services. $250,000 was appropriated to the Department for Breeders' Awards. $1 million pass-through appropriation for distribution to a commercial live racing permittee located in Maricopa County for racetrack capital projects and maintenance and operation funding. An additional $1 million pass-through appropriation for the race and purse enhancement line item for distribution to a recognized nonprofit horsemen's organization that has represented horsemen participating in racing meetings since 1988 and shall be used to promote racing and enhance the general purse structure for eligible horse races held in the state. Another item for $1.355 million appropriated to the department to pay the calendar year 2025 assessment levied by the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority. And lastly, $1.9 million appropriated to the department to support the licensing and regulatory oversight of horse racing and pari-mutuel wagering in the state. Are there any questions I can answer?
So as a clarification, that does mean that the agency will be able to continue to pay the HISA assessments.
Yes, that is the plan.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any other questions, fellow commissioners? No? All right. Thank you very much. Let's go down to the report on Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act.
Good morning, Chairwoman Contreras, fellow commissioners, staff. My name is Leroy Guessman with the National Agent EPA. As you all know, and I'm sure you've read articles that the Supreme Court has decided to send our case back to the appellate courts. There was 3 appellate courts involved, District 5, District 6, and District 8. The reasoning for sending this back is during the time that they ruled and current date, there was one case that was very similar to the constitutional questions of HISA that the Supreme Court did rule on, as well as one new law was passed. So the Supreme Court has asked the appellate courts to revisit the cases with the original submission from the parties and see if they still agree with their first decision or if they would like to change their decision based on the new case and new law. So the appellate courts have to go through their process, and then it have to be sent back to the Supreme Court. There's a possibility, if everything went well, things could be wrapped up by next June 30th, but probably will drag on into the early of 2027. So we're stuck with them for now. One thing I did want to, just an informational thing, if I may. You guys asked the penalties that HISA can impose. And Juan answered the fines, and that is the one thing they can do. But the biggest hammer they have, and if, is they can stop Turf Paradise from sending out their signal. They can't stop them from simulcasting within the state, but they can stop them from sending it out worldwide. So that's the big hand HISA has. Just for your information. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. All right, let's drop down to C5 permittee report. Do we have anything from American Greyhound Racing?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. American Greyhound Racing does not have a report today.
Thank you, sir. How about Arizona Quarter Horse Racing Association?
Nothing to report.
Nothing. Thank you, sir. Arizona Thoroughbred Breeders Association?
Good morning, Commissioners and Chairman. This is Debbie Zimmerman from the Arizona Thoroughbred Breeders. The ATBA will be paying a bonus award to our breeders by August 1st. We have paid out $1,300,000 to our quarter horse owners and breeders, horse rescue, and our stallion awards. We have a sale coming up in October, and we are looking forward to all of our horsemen returning to the backside. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Any fellow commissioners questions? No, thank you very much. I appreciate your report.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. How about the HBPA?
Nothing new to report.
All right, Mr. Yoder says nothing new to report. Thank
Sorry.
you very much. That's all right, sir. Thank you. How about the Jockeys Guild?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the commission. Daryl here, Western Regional Manager for the Jockeys Guild. Commissioners, I'm still concerned as far as, for instance, the lighting system that they just completed, the 3 poles. It was a serious safety issue, and we've been asked for them to do that for the last couple of years. Finally, it's completed, thank God. As far as the Jackson goes, and I've heard what they're saying as far as the hot box goes, the sauna. But that sauna has been so unsanitary. And last year, we asked for the wood in the sauna to be taken out, removed, because it was really, really gross. And it was just a disease that seemed like waiting to happen. Well, they didn't do that. They covered it. Okay. And that's what goes on. So I'm very concerned with the safety with the rail right now, what's going on there. For the last couple of years, we've made it clear that the jockeys, they stayed away from that rail riding because of it's not being stable at all. And with that duct tape or holding it together, that wasn't supposed to hold it together. It was only supposed to pad where it came apart so the jocks wouldn't tear their foot off if they hit it by just hitting it sideways. So that rail is old, and I don't know how it can be repaired. They're saying they're going to put it together again. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they're doing it and if it's going to hold, because, I'd have a backup plan. That needs a new rail, in my opinion, just because it's that dangerous. So I'm hoping something will be achieved here for the good of these riders, the safety. When I hear things said like for the tractors, they haven't leased the tractors yet until the permit is agreed upon. So everything is last minute, and I'm concerned that there's not enough people again to get this job done. The horsemen don't deserve to get strung along like this. And that's what I feel what's happening again, year after year. I don't know what it's going to take, because things get old there, and we know, and they have to be addressed right away, and it's not. And I feel comfortable right now. What's going on? Still, So I hope, and again, with the working with the state and the commission, I'd like to know really the assessment from the investigators or Juan or Brian, if they can get this done, if there's enough employees. I'd like to know their assessment if what they see, if this is doable to get everything done that needs to be addressed now. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. And I'm sure you can reach out to staff directly to answer some of your questions. So hopefully that can be alleviated for you. Let's drop down
Madam
to.
Chair.
May I make a comment to Mr. Darrell Hare? This is Jerry Sims.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sims, go
May I
ahead.
suggest any comments be made under C5, C, the county fairs and turf paradise. It can be
Very
given
well.
to
Great.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. My apologies. Yeah, we did. That's what I get when I take off my glasses. I miss whole items. So my apologies. So, Mr. Sims, I'm going to go back up to 5B county fairs, and then we'll go to turf paradise and you'll have an opportunity to speak. So item C5B county fairs, do we have anything to report? C5C, Mr. Sims, Turf Paradise.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I'd just like to make a comment. I understand Darrell Hare's problem. He has a lot of jockeys that don't pay into the guild. And this is a practice that I understand happens at all the tracks that he goes to, is there's never a kind word. And you have to show your jockeys that you're really fighting for them and get more people to join and pay dues. But I want to just comment, search your memory, and you'll remember that you asked us to put springs to attach on the grass track. And then you didn't like the springs and you asked for the tape. And we used the tape to connect them. And then you come in and you'd say at meetings, the whole thing's held together by tape. But maybe you didn't remember that was your suggestion. And especially with our low fatality rate, you'd think you'd have something nice to say and about all the work that's been done in 6 weeks and the 55 people that are working on this, 25 of our own and 30 outside vendors as we need them. And it just seems like it's not in your comments to ever. So anyway, I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things, and thank you for the time.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Mr. Francia, do you have anything to add to this agenda item?
Can I speak and address Mr. Sims, Madam Chair?
No.
No, sir. I'll let the two of you take that privately. Thank you. Mr. Francia, do you have anything to add to the report on Turf Paradise?
No, if you're asking me, no, I don't.
Mr. Francia?
Thank you, Mr. Sims. I didn't mean to put you in the position to answer for me. I think it's best that I don't comment. Okay.
That's fine, sir. Thank you very, very much. All right. Now let's drop down to D, with summary of current events affecting Arizona racing. That would be comments either by the fellow commissioners or the director. Do I have anything?
I would just like to reiterate thank you for all the hard work on things we've heard today and hoping to hear updates on the third-party structural engineer inspections and the turf rail to the extent you have updates. I think that'd be something we'd welcome via email through the department.
Thank you, Commissioner. Anyone else? All right. Anything to be added to future agenda that has not already been addressed? All right, let's drop down to call to the public. I know we have Mr. Nolan ready to speak to us. Mr. Nolan, are you available?
I am. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. You have 5 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Chair and fellow commissioners, the department officials, and the participants listening. I've been listening to these meetings for the last couple months, and it's still the delay game. You've had to delay it again because you spent an hour and a half talking about things that were supposed to be done prior to the last meeting. And here he wants the permittee wants to be patted on the back about what they've done in 6 weeks. Anyhow, I'm not going to go through. I want to ask that this commission take things that they say with a grain of salt. For instance, I'll give you a prime example. Commissioner Zucker brought up the biohazard on the backside. The Turf Paradise, the permittee states that it had been resolved a month ago. I find that to be totally erroneous. First off, he misled you by stating this manure that caught fire was from the barn area. That is not true. This manure had been hauled in from an external part to the facility on the grounds of which is under the jurisdiction of the department and the Division of Racing and the Department of Gaming. Now, we found out with Mr. Zucker, Commissioner Zucker's questioning, that this entity, Arizona Manure, who boasts at 1501 West Bell Road under this property of the jurisdiction of the department, is not permitted or not licensed by the department as a vendor. There's 2 phone numbers of people that are working there. These people probably aren't licensed either, but yet they're on the grounds of the permittee. And let me go into definitions under the Arizona Administrative Ground. The grounds means the entire area used by a permittee to conduct a race meet, including but not limited to the track, grandstand, stables, concession area, and parking facilities. This biohazard has been moved from one part of the property to another. I don't see that it has been leaving the property. And it's a very big concern. First off, it's not a licensed vendor. I'm also very concerned about the zoning. 1501 West Bell Road is zoned as a special use permit for racetrack, not for a manure company. That needs to be addressed and it needs to be dealt with. Thank God in my neighborhood, well, and I feel bad for the people directly east. When that wind was blowing west to east and that smoke was going in that neighborhood, it was toxic. It was a biohazard. And I thank God it wasn't from the northwest to the southeast and towards my neighborhood. The fact is that it closed 11th Avenue from Bell Road to Greenway. There were 5 fire trucks in there. And had it been from a different direction, it may have had to close Greenway completely. You were misled. That manure was not from the barn area. That manure had been hauled in there for this company. And for Mr. Francia to try to mislead you and say it was barn manure, I find totally erroneous and it needs to be dealt with. It is a biohazard. It is still a concern for this community, for the people in the state of Arizona. I'm also going to take what little time I've got left under the statutes, the Arizona Administrative Code, the Arizona Revised Statutes, Section 104, Arizona Racing Commission Director, Division, Powers and Duties. Subsection S, the division may adopt rules pursuant to Title 14, Chapter 6, and Title 14, Chapter 6 is the regulatory rulemaking process to carry out the purposes of this article, to ensure the safety and integrity of racing in this state and to protect the public interest. I excuse me. I see that so much has gone to safety. That's wonderful. The rate of horse fatalities is great. What they're trying to do is safety, safety, safety. But what does HISA stand for? We have integrity. HISA is the Horsemen's Integrity and Safety Act. Where is the integrity of what is being told to you? Where is the integrity of this facility. Where is that coming up by our regulators and by HISA? They skipped that and went right to safety, and I'm thankful because that's the first rule of permittee, and you clean, neat, safe. You're starting to get the awareness, the acknowledgement, but Commissioner Zucker, you stated last week, it's going to take an army to accomplish these things that have been neglected since Mr. Sims took over 25 years ago. He sucked the living life out of this industry, out of the vegetation. It's put us in a very bad light in this community.
Please wrap up, your time is up. Any final comments, sir?
Yes, thank you. The last thing I'd like to, where is the debris going? Is it all of this? These questions need answered by our regulators.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I had a hard stop at 12:30, so I'm gonna announce my departure. I don't think that impacts quorum, so.
Correct.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
Thank you, sir. And thank you to Vice Chair Olson. She does have to leave for another meeting, so we appreciate all her hard work today. All right, let's drop down. Mr. Yoder, do you still have public comment?
May I make a comment to the public?
Just a moment, sir. Mr. Francia, you were also listed on public comment. Do you have anything further?
No, Madam Chair, thank you.
All right, Mr. Francia said he does not have further comment. Mr. Sims, you want to speak at call to the public?
Yes, thank you.
Please go ahead, sir.
Jerry Sims, just to clarify, we are, the fire occurred because a city inspector asked them, instead of spreading the manure, to put it in a large pile. And when that pile went in, that's when the sun hit it and caused the fire. We then have spread it and it's being taken out. There's 4 trucks a day, semis going out 6 days a week. And we're dealing with everything back there is being done legally. The things that the gentleman was doing, you don't need a permit for. There's a provision, and my attorneys have dealt with it. And so we're doing everything in a legal fashion. And we're sorry about the fire, but it was put on us by, and I won't name the gentleman's name from the city, but he had wanted them to mound it all up. And so anyway, it's going out of there. And I think he said, I forgot how many more weeks it'll take. I think he said by September 1st, it'll all be out. But thank you for the time.
Thank you, sir. All right, let's drop down to agenda items.
Madam Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Zucker has his.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, I missed Commissioner Zucker.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sorry for the interruption.
No.
I have a unique need to exit the hearing at this time. As you know, I live in Pine Top and I have a big brown bear and cub in my backyard tearing up the trash. So I need to depart at this time and deal with the game department, and not the gaming, but the game fishing game, and this bear in my backyard. So I'm going to excuse myself, folks. Thank you very much and appreciate it. Have a good day.
That's got to be the most unique departure I've ever heard, but please stay safe. Thank you, sir. That won't affect our quorum. We can go ahead with announcements. Yes. All right. Thank you. We have an announcement that our next regular meeting is at 10 a.m. on August 14th here at the office. Do we have a meeting prior to that? No. Okay.
That is actually virtually.
Okay. All right.
I would note that the commission could call a special meeting before that if it so chooses.
Okay. So there could be a special meeting called. Please just keep an eye on the website and everybody will be kept informed. Yes, Val.
With notice as required by law.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So if there is an additional meeting, it will be noted on the website and sent out timely pursuant to statute. Otherwise, our next regular meeting will be on the 14th of August. It will be in person at 10 o'clock. So with that, I have.
Wait, Chairwoman.
Yes, ma'am.
I actually have one more.
Yes, Director.
Unfortunately, 2 of the commissioners have left, but good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jackie Johnson. I am the Director of the Department of Gaming as well as the Racing Division. Glad to have everybody here in the room with us, as well as online. I did have an announcement that I wanted to make to everybody today. So as many of you know, you've had the opportunity to meet our Deputy Director, Shannon Nelson, who's been very familiar with the track this last race season. Shannon joined our team last September as our Deputy Director of Regulation, bringing strong background in law enforcement and in gaming regulation in her prior roles. Since joining our team and during this past race season, she's gained strong appreciation for the racing community, as well as a solid understanding of our regulatory role in the racing industry. So I am pleased to announce that Shannon will be getting a transition period in the role of racing director, with the full transition planned for later in the fall. Shannon will continue to serve in her capacity as the department's deputy director over all other things regulation related with the Department of Gaming. We are confident that her expertise and leadership will ensure a smooth and effective continuation of the racing division's operations. And at this time, I just wanted to at least give Shannon an opportunity to introduce herself to those that may not know.
Congratulations. Yes, please come up and give us more information.
Hello. So as the director said, thank you first and foremost, Chairwoman and the rest of the commissioners. My name is Shannon Nelson, and I am excited about this opportunity of moving forward into the transition of becoming the racing director. I look forward to working with everyone within the Arizona racing community and have appreciated the support and guidance, and also look forward to future adventures with the racing community, commissioners, turf, and any other participants that we may have. So at any time, if anybody has any questions, I won't keep you. I know we've been long today, but again, I just wanted to say hello and introduce myself and love you. So thank you very much.
Congratulations on your transition. I've been very impressed with your work. So
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Any other announcements?
None from the department.
All right, thank you. All right, are we ready for an adjournment? Motion?
I move we adjourn.
And I guess I'm gonna second because we're it. Actually, we can't even vote really because there's only two others. Right?
There's three.
Oh, there is three. Oh, Mr. Coolidge is still on the line. Good. All right, Mr. Coolidge.
With
go ahead.
the motion by Commissioner Kadich and a second by Madam French Contreras, I will call the roll. Madam French Contreras.
Yes.
Commissioner Coolidge,
You still have a.
Commissioner Coolidge. I see he's still on there.
Oh, okay. I thought he dropped off.
Can you raise his hand?
Commissioner Coolidge.
There you go.
Sorry, you're muted.
Yeah, I thought he dropped off.
No, he's still on there. Commissioner Coolidge.
Anna, can we end the meeting without a motion? Or,
You'd have to end it because there's not. a quorum.
right. I suggest we end the meeting now. It is 12:35. We end it without a motion due to lack of quorum. How's that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your patience.